I would like to play and have my fun and mess around, but I was very serious about like having a good future and like making sure I did something right. We were just broke growing up, you know what I'm saying? So I always was like already starting that entrepreneurship. I was selling clothes from thrift stores and trying to hustle, figure out a way to get money, you know what I'm saying? Some ways weren't necessarily good ways either, but you know, like just trying to figure it out.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of C-Rod's Tell Me a Story podcast. I'm your host, C-Rod. Let me tell you a story. Today's story starts out with one of the most basic guidelines when it comes to coming up with business ideas. Find a problem and create a solution. Some people are really good at this, and some people are only good at finding problems. But that takes us back just north of 20 years ago to Fort Collins, Colorado. Here, our MC was born. He traveled around from place to place until he found himself in the northern Denver metropolis area. Here, he would run the streets and let the police teach him right from wrong. But through all these sticky situations, he was able to keep his nose straight and graduate high school. While attending college one day, he was at a local concert when he saw a local artist. He was so impressed with this local artist when he came home, he decided to look him up when he found out one thing. There aren't too many, if any, outlets for Colorado artists and rappers. Noticing this, he found his problem and created his solution, the Mile High Minute Corporation. And today is the story of its founder and CEO, Brenton, Saylor. All right, back at you with another episode of C-Rod's Tell Me a Story podcast. I'm your host, C-Rod, and I'm with you with my guest today, Mile High Minutes, B.
What's the word, man? Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
What up, B?
Just living, man. Another beautiful day in Colorado. I love what you're doing, so I appreciate you for having me on, man.
Yeah. So lately in my quest to find guests that are willing to actually have a sit-down conversation and not a Zoom conversation or interview.
It's way better in person.
It's way better in person. It's way more intimate, especially when you're talking about people's life stories. Like,
right.
I don't want to hear your life story over Zoom.
Yeah.
But in my quest, I was squirming through IG, and I came across Mile High Minute. And, excuse me, Mile High Minute, it's basically, when I was scrolling through, I said, man, there's all types of events and stuff going on. It's a whole lot. And so basically, what B is, he's a hip-hop journalist. He's a journalist, and he likes sports, too, and he likes other things, but that's what his aspirations are. And he's just going to tell us a little bit about his story and about how we got into that. And we'll start off with, who's the best rapper?
Oh, shit. That's a tough one, man. There's so many.
Top three.
So you want to go, like, are we talking just Colorado? Are we talking all time in the world?
All-time, top three. Mount Rush. What's on Mount Rushmore? 5? So
Four Mount Rushmore.
4? Okay, so what's your Mount Rushmore?
Like, my personal opinion, and this isn't just Colorado. I'm gonna say Future. They call them APs, Colorado artists. 50 Cent. Fourth one. Oh, this is tough. There's so many I could put there. I'll just throw. I don't really listen to Eminem anymore, but I'm gonna throw him on there just because when I first started getting into music, he was one of the first rappers I was really listening to a lot. So I'll say Future. They call him AP. 50 Cent, Eminem.
I think I reached out to AP before.
Yeah, no, he's dope. He's dope, man. He's my favorite artist right now for sure. Who I listen to the most. Just very lyrical, and he knows how to tell a story and get you really think. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I like AP's music.
So what made you start getting into music?
Well, it's funny. Like when I was young, I used to rap in front of the mirror, write down lyrics. Think I was had a little dream of being a rapper for a split second, and then I was like, nah, I'm not doing this. But I always, I grew up playing sports, and I was always listening to hip hop, rap music, a little bit of other stuff as well. But how I really got into music was, I remember after I graduated from high school, I went to a show and I heard this rapper Young Fiji up in Boulder, and I was like, oh, he's kind of hard. He was the first Colorado artist that I was kind of actually vibing to. Because before that, you know, I never heard of any Colorado rappers. You know, we're known for EDM, maybe a little bit of country, stuff like that. So that being at that show and hearing him got me a little curious. So I look up his music, I add it to my playlist, and then like, you know, at the time I'm watching like No Jumper, Say Cheese, Zach TV, like different hip hop blogs and stuff. And I was like, where's the Colorado rapper interviews? You know what I'm saying? Because like at that time I started doing more research. I'm hearing about the Trev Riches, the APs, different artists out here, and I'm like, whoa, they're talented. Like there's a lot of talent out here, but there's not a lot of like interviews and stuff like that. So that's kind of when the light bulb sparked, and I was like, I don't like to rap, but maybe I can be kind of behind the scenes and do interviews and promos and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how it all started.
For the community.
Right.
I get it. So, born in Fort Collins.
Yeah, born in Fort Collins. Lived there for like 3 years. I don't really remember it, but I always got love for FOCO. Go Rams. Even though I'm wearing a DU shirt, but.
And then you end up in Denver?
Yeah, so I lived in like Wyoming and Nevada from like probably like 4 to 7 or 8 years old. Brief time, my family just moved from Fort Collins there, and then we moved back to at first it was Thornton, right off 96 in Huron, so the North Metro area of Denver. And lived there for like 6 years, and then I moved to Arvada for like 6 to 8 years. So my whole upbringing, for the most part, from what I remember, 3rd grade on up, it was North Metro Denver. So yeah,
3rd grade up. That's, I don't know. Like some people don't even remember below.
Right. Yeah, I don't. But I have very faint memories of like Wyoming and Nevada and stuff like that. My whole memory is basically Colorado for the most part.
So I've been told that my mom freaks out on me because I'm like a weirdo. I have a weird memory. Like I can't
like
remember.
A really good memory, or
long ago. I remember yesterday. Don't know what the hell happened. You know?
Yeah. What do they call it? Like short-term memory loss?
Maybe, yeah. So like my earliest memory, I was taking a bath in the sink.
Yeah. That's crazy.
So, I mean, I was have to be pretty small. I remember looking out the window and my mom bathing me in the sink.
Yeah, you're probably like 2, 3.
Yeah.
Max 3, probably 1.
Probably pretty small, but
Yeah.
I can remember that, and I described it to my mom, and she was like, "Oh, I remember that." I was like,
"That's crazy." That's how you know it's real too.
Yeah, I was like, "That's not just a dream. That's really happened."
The sink is
Do you
interesting.
have brothers and sisters?
Yeah, I got so 1 full blood brother, and then I got 2 other older half brothers, and then 2 older half sisters. I really count them all as just brothers, sisters. So like 5 total, I think. Once you get so many siblings, it's hard to keep track. But yeah, 5.
Were your parents together growing up?
Yeah, but it was definitely a weird. Like they're still technically married, but they were so like, I don't know if you've ever heard of like marriages where like they're almost too broke or just too like don't want to actually divorce, you know what I'm saying? But they would like separate and go date other people. It was a weird, it was a weird dynamic, bro. Like, I don't know. I love both my parents, but they were on and off. I'll say that for.
Yeah. You witnessed all that growing up?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was definitely a lot of on and off. But for the most part, you know, it was my dad. I didn't really see too many other partners. And if they did have other partners, they weren't that serious. Yeah. So, yeah, they're basically together for the most part.
What did your parents do for a living?
So before, I'm glad you asked this, because before I was here, my dad was actually in the Navy for like 14 years. He got out of the Navy, met my mom. My mom, she went to school. She went to CSU in Fort Collins, so that's where they met, up in Fort Collins. Went to CSU. It was like a criminal justice degree, actually, but she never ended up using it. But like, you know, just random jobs, restaurants. Growing up, she worked at the gas station off of 92nd in Huron or 88th in Huron.
Oh yeah, you're way up there.
Yeah, lived up. She worked there like almost my whole upbringing until like literally 2-3 years ago. She stopped working there. And my dad, after he got out the Navy, like growing up, he was working like different odd jobs, plumbing, water. He was like just different, like I guess manly jobs. You know, like the stereotypical, stuff like that for a while. But then, like honestly, he kind of stopped working probably when I was like middle school, probably like 6th, 7th grade. He just stopped working. Like to be honest, like it was kind of weird. It was weird. Addictions and stuff like that happened. But my mom, you know, she always kept working, even if it wasn't like the best job. She always kept a roof over our head and, you know, food in our stomach and shit like that. My bad. Do you not want me to cuss either?
No, it's fine.
I'm good.
It's
okay.
Fine. Just don't be like,
yeah, going off. Yeah.
Well, that way younger people can enjoy your story as well.
Right.
So you didn't have a lot of money then?
No, we grew up Section 8. It was housing, government housing. Like that's basically my whole life until recently when I like got old enough and moved down on my own. But yeah, like that's what it was. You know what I'm saying? Because my mom, we'd have like a small 2-bedroom apartment. You'd have like 5, 6 people in there at times. Like it wasn't the worst though. I'll say that. It wasn't like, you know, growing up in Arvada and Thornton, it's not like some people would call it like white trash. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not like you're not going out the door like worried about getting shot too much. You know, like stuff like that could happen, but it was very rare. It was more just drug addiction and stuff like that. You know, it wasn't like the hood. It was just poverty, I guess you could say.
Just being poor with a bunch of crackheads running around.
Basically, yeah. You know, okay. So it wasn't. Yeah, it was cool. I love it though. I made so many friends and stuff. Like I'll never regret what happened.
Yeah. So were all your brothers and sisters in the same house?
So me and my younger brother, he's only a year apart from me, so we basically shared a room our whole life. And then we had our sister, who was a little bit older than us, like I want to say it was like 5 to 8 years older. She was kind of on and off with us. Like she would, her father passed away, so like she would live with him a lot. But then when he passed away, she was kind of living with us a lot. And then she would move out with like a boyfriend and come back. It was kind of just shaky, you know what I'm saying? And my dad was kind of the same way. We're like, you know, when he stopped working, he would just come live with us, and he'd go live with my grandma, and you know, and just kind of all around. So it was kind of just sometimes there'd be 2 people in the apartment. Sometimes there'd be like 5, 6, 7 people. Like sometimes my uncle or, you know, just random people would be showing up. So it was like, I don't know how to put it, but it was just very,
I understand. Very
like moving, like fast, like pace, like just so much stuff going on. I'll say that. Like, so
going on in your home.
Yeah. Yeah.
So is it kind of like so when I grew up at one time, just for an example, I lived on a street, and on the street, my grandma, my grandpa, 2 of my uncles, my aunt, and then us were on this street. So it's like always seeing people in and out the house.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, who's here now? Oh, okay. You know, you wake up, there's people in your house.
Right. Yeah, and it was kind of like that too, because there was times where like my dad and my mom lived in this apartment, then my uncle lived in this apartment, and my other uncle lived in. So it was kind of the similar. Yeah, like
I didn't like it because I never could get away with anything.
Right. Yeah.
I'm always being watched.
Right. Yeah. It's crazy looking back now, because now we're all separated, but growing up, we're all like just one part of the city. Like, I don't know. It's just crazy how life changes.
Well, that's when a lot of younger people don't realize it. And some people, this doesn't apply to everybody, but a lot of times families, you grow up with your siblings and they're there every day. And then you grow up and you get to, you know, your 40s and stuff, and you don't see them for 2 years at a time.
Right. Facts.
You know, so I always tell my kids that. I'm like, appreciate each other, because y'all not going to be around each other all the time.
Right.
Make them cry and shit. They're like, oh.
No, that's real, though. I mean, I don't see my oldest brother. I probably can count on, like, one hand how many times I've seen him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but the other one is, like, we're a lot closer. But he was just a little, I think he was, like, probably like 15, 20 years older than me. So it was like, so it was like, didn't really know each other too well. We're cool, but, you know.
So were you running around, like, with all that commotion in your house? I can imagine you were getting into some shit.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, growing up, I'll say this, like, the pros of that lifestyle is, like, you get to do what you want. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, my parents were either too busy at work or just doing whatever. So, like, they couldn't really keep a hold of us too much. So we're out skating, hooping, breaking stuff, throwing, you know, just doing regular kid stuff. But then the con of that is, like, you don't, I guess, feel that, like, sometimes you need that love or that discipline, you know what I'm saying? So you like can learn. So we had to go learn by getting in trouble with the cops. So I mean, I probably got so many stupid tickets growing up, just trespassing, throwing rocks at a window, stealing, you know, just doing different like kid stuff. Even at school, like I would get good grades, but I would just say dumb stuff to the teacher. I had a mouth on me, like just a little bad kid, class clown, like, you know what I'm saying?
Looking for attention.
Yeah, basically.
Most class clowns do.
Right.
I can remember one time I got caught. I stole balloons. So I went to back in Texas, they have what they call HEB grocery store.
Okay.
So I went to HEB, and they had these balloons. And I opened up the pack to give some to my brother.
Yeah.
Some him. We're blowing up balloons. My dad came out there and said, "Where y'all get them? Where'd y'all get those?"
Yeah.
From the store. Well, whipped my ass, bring me back in the store, and he made me give the balloons to the manager.
Oh, he embarrassed you, huh? Yeah. Because he knew y'all didn't buy them, huh?
Yeah, he didn't buy them, so I handed the balloons to the manager. I was like,
all nervous, huh?
I stole these.
Yeah.
But that was a different time.
Yeah.
Age.
No, that's funny. That reminds me, I remember when I got a trespassing ticket. I was probably like 4th grade or some 3rd grade. At a library, me and my homies were just monkeying around, just doing whatever, being loud. They kicked us out. We didn't leave, but they had the cops come. So they gave me like 10 hours community service. It was like $50, you know, just something. We were little kids. And I remember going to the stand and I was crying. Like, I was so scared because I was so young. And, like, I didn't know. I had to go talk to a judge. I'm thinking I'm in big trouble. You know what I'm saying? That's funny, though.
I'm going to jail for life.
Yeah. That stuff's funny, though, looking back on it. Because I got in trouble for way worse stuff then. And I was, like, not as, I guess.
Not as worried?
Yeah.
Yeah, it never hit you until it actually hit you.
Right. So
if I was to go back, so you grow up, when you go into high school, what kind of guy were you in high school?
I was still like kind of a class clown. You know, people would say I was annoying because I'd mess around a lot, but I was always like a good kid when it came to like grades and stuff. And I never really was too hard into like drugs or anything. Like I experimented and messed around with stuff, but I really just wanted to play basketball. I wasn't like a super basketball star or anything. I basically rode bench in high school, but like played basketball in high school and, you know, just got my work done, focused on school. So you know what I'm saying? Like I always knew, like I was very, I would like to play and have my fun and mess around, but I was very serious about like having a good future and like making sure I did something right. You know what I'm saying? Because we were just broke growing up. You know what I'm saying? So I always was like, I was already starting that entrepreneurship. I was selling clothes from thrift stores and like just trying to hustle, figure out a way to get money. You know what I'm saying? And in some ways weren't necessarily good ways either, but you know, like just trying to figure it out in high school, really.
So you started getting clothes from thrift stores and hustling them?
Yep, I would flip jerseys and stuff. And
would people start looking for you? Did you get a reputation?
For sure. Like I would say after high school, especially at first when I was in high school, I was actually embarrassed, you know, because like in high school, you're like, you don't want to be known as the kid that goes to a thrift store or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Especially me growing up, just not you know, I was always embarrassed of that stuff for whatever reason. You know, it's a popularity contest in high school. But then, like, so I would just be low key about it. I'd be, you know, getting clothes from thrift stores, selling it online, using my mom's like social security and stuff. And then, but after high school, I stopped caring because all of a sudden thrifting was cool. I was like, oh, well, I've been doing this my whole life. So here, like, now I'm starting to become known. Like, I'm posting stuff on my Snapchat and Instagram. Like, I got these jerseys for the low, these Jordans, whatever. Like, whatever I'm finding for the low, I'm buying them at a certain price, flipping them. You know what I'm saying? Still selling online stuff too, but I definitely became like the vintage clothing plug, especially for like Arvada at that time. Like, I had homies from high school. They used to come over to my apartment and go through my little store or at my old garage, little what do they call it, little garage?
Like
Storage unit. Like, yeah, I was definitely like known as that vintage plug for like probably like 2-3 years there after high school, like while I was still in school, college and stuff like that. Yeah.
do you still like fashion?
I do. Like, I'm still selling clothes, but I'm not like trying to build like a brand out of it anymore like I used to. Like, that was before Mile High Mini and stuff, so that's all I cared about. But as I got kind of older, I was kind of just like, well, I fell in love with Mile High Minute, and I wanted to build like my own brand, kind of. You know what I'm saying? And like, it was more fun and stuff like that. But I mean, I still got shoes on Depop and stuff online. Like, I'll still like, if I go to a thrift store, see a good deal, I'll still
11.5
clean them
and
up.
12. You hit me up.
I got some for you. I'm gonna send you the link after. But yes, I still do, but I'm not like heavily pushing it, I guess you could say.
Well, it seems like My High Minute, because it's a ton of content.
Oh yeah.
Posting, and it seems like it takes up quite a bit of your time, I would say.
Yeah, no, that's definitely the main reason why I don't sell clothes as much anymore, is just that, for sure. Like, just trying to keep up with everything and everyone and interviews and, you know, go to shows, do different stuff, you know what I'm saying?
So high school was pretty easy for you, though? Besides, you kept your grades up, a little bit of hustling, a little bit of class clowning, but
yeah.
did you make it? Did you graduate?
Yeah, I ended up graduating 2016 from Pomona. It was pretty good. I think I graduated like a 3.16 GPA, I think, somewhere around there. So, like, I wasn't like a valedictorian, but it was good enough to like go to school or go to college, kind of do what I wanted. I had little bumps in high school messing with girls and stuff, you know, like where they would kind of distract me from focusing on school. But like, overall, for the most part, I was pretty focused.
Gotta leave them girls alone when you're trying to stay focused.
No, facts, yeah.
It's a good detour, unless you find one that's supportive. That
Right,
could be different. But
yeah, I got one now, but back then they were distracting.
it could be
for sure.
It's a double-edged sword.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
So when you're, did you have a lot of friends?
Yeah, I would say I had a pretty good amount of friends. Like, the thing is, since I didn't really feel like I had the greatest, I guess, connection with family, because by high school, you know, in elementary, middle school was different. I had all my cousins or not cousins, my like uncles, and it was just like more people, more family members around. By the time we got into high school, like, it's mostly just my mom and my brother. Like, I'm seeing other people every now and then. My dad, I'm seeing him like every once in a while, but it's mostly my mom and my brother.
The hustle bustle slow down. Yeah,
so like, it just like my friends almost became my family in a way. Even to this day, I talk to my girl about that. You know what I'm saying? Because like, we go to a lot of family events with her family and stuff. But like, my family events are like, let me go kick it with the homies and have some beers, play Madden. You know what I'm saying? Like, because those are who I grew up with and like who was really there for me, and you know what I'm saying? Like, who I consider family. Like, what's that quote? Like, and there's just because someone's like blood doesn't mean like you gotta be always around them and stuff. Because sometimes even family members can be bad influences and stuff. So.
Yeah, family's not always good. Some families could be bad. Some people aren't blessed with it. Right.
So, yeah, by that time, I forgot, what was the original question? My bad. I think I'm going off on a tangent.
You were telling me about if you had friends and then.
Oh yeah, friends.
Yeah.
So yeah, my friends were they were like my family for the most part, for sure. Like definitely had a lot of friends. So I'm definitely blessed with that. And I was able to just mess around and do whatever. So like,
you have the same friends?
Yeah, for the most part, like my core group of friends. Yeah, for the most part, which is surprising because a lot of people can't say that. I mean, there's still there's people I lost as far as friends throughout the years and people I were closer with high school I don't really talk to anymore, which I feel like is kind of normal. But like my core group of friends that like I would say we're pretty cool. We can't hang out as much as we used to, obviously, growing up, but like we're still, in group chats, probably get together, watch Super Bowl, like whenever we can, you know what I'm saying?
It's just like we talked about earlier, fading apart.
And we're cool. We never were. See, you have those friends in high school that like go and try and talk to your girl or, be sneaky behind your back. We were always like loyal to each other. So that's why we've been able to keep like a good friendship and stuff.
Some snaky people out there, right?
Yeah. Facts.
I never really experienced too much high school because I didn't go that far.
Oh, you didn't?
But I always ask sometimes my 13-year-old would come home and, what's his face? Had talked to Jenny and Jenny talked to Beauty and then I'm like, what the hell y'all talking? And I told her not to do this and I'm like, I'm glad I didn't have to go through none of that.
Yeah. What kind of advice do you end up giving them when it comes to girls and stuff? You're just like, y'all are so young.
I have daughters, so whenever I hear her saying stuff like that, I say, mind your own business. Stay away from all that shit.
Right.
I always tell my kids, you're in school to be in school. Wait till you get older to make friends and shit.
Right. When you get older, you start worrying about that.
Yeah, you start worrying about that. Now you're worried about getting the diploma and setting your future up.
Right.
That's what they all know too. And I always try to scare them. I'll be like, you only got like 6 more years. You're getting the hell out of here. You better figure something out. You know?
Right. Yeah. And it goes quicker than they probably realize. Yeah.
My oldest, she's getting the college things now. She's like,
oh, that's dope.
It ain't gonna do. Because I told her, don't get no art degree or some
bullshit. Right. Something that you're gonna make some money with.
Yeah, get something, be a doctor or something. So, where did you go? So you went to college with such good grades. You went to college, you say, right?
Yeah. So I actually originally was gonna go to Colorado State because my brother went there, my older brother, my mom went there, and like I was born in Fort Collins, so I always loved CSU. And like I got my classes scheduled and everything. I think I had a FAFSA. It was gonna take like $5,000 off of how much I was gonna owe, and then like. They get you because they get all your classes scheduled and do all this stuff, orientation, and then right before school starts and before I move up to Fort Collins, they're like, so you're going to have to pay this like $21,000 loan, whatever. And like at that moment I thought about it and I was like, am I really going to just go to school here for the name and just get into like $21,000 in debt at like 18, like barely any work experience. Like I was like, skirt. No, so I said, nah, I canceled CSU. I like pulled out all my classes, made sure I didn't.
They start getting you to commit.
Right. Yeah.
They give you come on in.
Right. You're accepted.
Here's your classes. Here's your orientation.
You get to go on campus, sleep there, and you're like, damn, it's so nice. You're like,
nice. And now just sign over $21,000.
Right. Yeah. So after that, I was like, I'm gonna just go to Front Range up in Westminster, closer to home. Yeah. I got the FAFSA, so I actually will get paid. Like, I'll get to go to school for free, and like there'll actually be a little money left over for me. Community college, like I'm gonna just do that. Well, it's not Colorado State University, but it's like
the same education probably.
Right, and I can always transfer if I want.
Yeah.
So
where did you go for?
So I got my Associates of Arts degree with a business designation. So. And now I'm at Metro studying business management, but so yeah, it's like technically it's an associate of arts degree, but business designation.
No art degree for you.
Yeah.
You got to be a doctor.
Right. But mine's business though, because I'm business. On the same. It's got to be business.
Got to be business. Yeah.
Because you can make money with that. I'm not going to school for music, you know. I love music, but yeah, I would not go to school for music.
Well, no, she wants to animate and draw, and I just told her, you know, you could spend that $21,000 on yourself,
right,
and make yourself more profitable,
right,
than
or,
spending it on there, you know.
And do it on the side, like if you love art, and you know, there's nothing wrong with it, but just do it as like a hobby or something, you know.
Just to make. I mean, your dreams can come true. You just got to put work into it.
Oh yeah,
find the right path. And some paths aren't the right
right.
paths for college.
right.
So, when you're in college, what was that experience like? Was you partying crazy?
So I loved Front Range because, like, I didn't like, as far as that school in specific, it's not a popularity contest. Like, everyone's there to get their stuff done. You got people of all ages, like from 18 to 40s. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I liked community college. So people were just focused, you know. Yeah, I made some homies there, you know what I'm saying, but it was never the people I was partying with at the time were people I went to high school with, you know, like we had all just graduated, you know, we were just kicking it, and yeah, so that's who I partied with, people I went to high school with, not even who I was going to college with. So yeah, it was dope, you know. I loved
think
it.
of college, I think of like bunch of partying and stuff.
Yeah, right. And I probably would have been more of that if I went to CSU, but since I was at community college, it was kind of more focused.
Everybody's on point.
Yeah, but like, man, I was still like, I don't know, I was still living with my mom at the time, and just like hustling the vintage stuff, smoking a bunch of weed, like getting a little bit of trouble, but nothing too crazy.
Yeah, what's the worst trouble you ever got in?
I don't know. I guess it could be a little crazy, depends, but I got a DWAI for like weed. So I wasn't drinking alcohol, but I had just went and smoked with the homie. This was actually while I was at Front Range.
Sorry about that.
No, you're good. I was smoking with the homies, and at that time I was usually just smoking like regular, you know, weed. But the homie had like some like white clear hash or something crazy. Yeah. But I was like, you know, I was a fiend at the time. I'm like, all right, you know, whatever, I'll try. Yeah. So we're dabbing it or whatever. And then like, so I'm driving him back to his house, you know, because he had the weed. I'm driving, he had the weed. I'm like I'm not gonna lie, I didn't have my license at the time. That's a whole nother story too. I was just being stupid. I ain't gonna lie. I was smart in school, but I was stupid in like the streets at the time. So the cop pulls me off. I'm going like 5-10 under the speed limit because I'm all nervous. Highs.
You get pulled over for going too slow?
I guess I was too high or something. I don't know. I think it was because I didn't have my license. I think he probably ran my plates and was like, but oh man, I was all nervous. And then I didn't have any weed. The homie, I thought he didn't have any weed because I guess he left it with the friend we went and smoked with. Yeah. But the cops said we smelled like weed, which we probably did. You know, we were just getting high. So I was just, you know, at that time I was always, I'm gonna just keep it real with the cop and he'll be cool and maybe let me go. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no.
I learned my lesson on that.
Lied to that motherfucker.
Yeah, I should have just not said nothing because he fucking gave me a DWAI. I had all these classes and therapy. I had to pay so much money for that shit. But I learned my lesson. I learned a good lesson from that.
Were you obvious? Like,
I think so, yeah. Because, like, I was just so nervous. Like, because I knew I was in the wrong. So it was like, fuck, like, I don't know. And low-key, the cops in Arvada, bro, like, especially, like, in Castlegate, the apartments I lived in, there's not much going on in Arvada, but those specific apartments is where, like, the shit does go down. So they were always just on ass there, like, just always parking outside. Like, it kind of, like, gave, like, this paranoia to you almost of just, like,
don't go don't go over there.
Yeah, don't go do stuff. And I used to, you know what I'm saying? I was never, like, into hardcore drugs, but I used to, you know what I'm saying, with marijuana a little bit and make a little money, you know what I'm saying? So at that time, it was back in the day, I learned my lesson from that too. But so it was just like this, like, paranoia would kind of get in your head at that time. So I was just hella nervous anytime with cops. And but I mean, now looking back, I know why, because I was doing bad shit. So, like, you know what I'm saying? It's easy to get like that when you're not doing the right stuff. But you learn from it and you grow. You know what I'm saying? I think that was like 2018 or something. It's like been 6 years. I'm way off probation and all that stuff. So, like, I never, you know, did anything stupid
You
again.
learned your lesson.
Yeah.
Thank God you didn't get in an accident or anything. It would have been worse.
No, yeah, that's true. That's true. I definitely learned my lesson. I wasn't drunk or anything. I would never do that, but I was definitely smoking. Yeah, I was definitely
you ever
smoking.
seen that stupid commercial? I'm not saying this can happen where the guy's in the drive-through and the little girl,
smoke.
He's like getting high, they're high, and then there's a little girl going across the drive-through, and he pulls off and hits her.
Yeah, it's real.
Yeah, but what was the little kid doing in the drive-through?
Yeah.
Would you let your kid drive your bike? Why is the little kid riding a bike in the drive-through?
Right. No, yeah, that don't make sense.
It don't make sense.
But no, those commercials, like, there's some over-exaggerated stuff, but there's also some that's, like, does make you think, like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I feel like weed isn't really too big of a deal. I think it also depends on the cop you get. If you get a cool cop, he probably ain't going to trip out. But if you're, you know, if he could be an asshole and he's going to throw the book at you, you know?
Yeah.
So
it's a lot. When I was growing up, it was a lot tougher on marijuana than what.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. Especially in Texas, right?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Texas and Kentucky. Yeah.
I remember I got pulled over. I was driving to Texas. I got pulled over. And, like, I didn't do nothing, so I actually wasn't nervous this time. But, like, I got pulled over twice. So I'm in my head, I'm like, they just see the Colorado license plate, and they're probably like, this dude's.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm driving in, like, the small towns, like, to get to Dallas, you know. They're probably, I don't know. They think I was, like, trafficking or something. I don't know.
I've always driven nice cars. And I remember I had a nice little Cadillac. Man, I tell you, I got pulled over every day.
Yeah.
Every day. Yeah. Every day. Until I was like, I got to get rid of this car.
Yeah.
I'm tired of getting pulled over all the time. You know?
And it's probably worse for, you know, I'm white, so I can only imagine what it's like for other people, you know.
It was bad. They don't like to see, well, not only that it's, you know, I'm a young minority in a nice car, but when it's on 22-inch rims and
yeah.
Two-tone paint job,
assuming you're up to something.
Yeah, so
and you could be cool. You probably just nice car, you know, chilling.
Yeah, I was like, I gotta get rid of this bad boy. I'm tired of that shit. So when you come out of high school, is that when you start going into, like, when did you have aspirations to be a rapper?
So that was when I was like 6, 7, 8 years old.
Oh, wow.
So it was really short lived. But growing up, it was basketball. That was that was what I always wanted to do. Like, you know what I'm saying?
You good?
But I'm good for, like, the average person. Like, I'll go to the Vasa or I play in, like, men's leagues and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, on a good day, I might drop 15, 20 points. On a good day. Nice. Average is probably more like 8 to 12, you know. But I'm an all-around player. I like to get assists. I like to get rebounds. Like, I like to share the ball. Growing up, I was more of a ball hog. I wanted to be like Kobe and shoot a bunch. But now I'm like, I just want to win. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I like to pass the ball and be more of a team player. But I was good. If I really put my mind to it, I think I might have been able to, like, go play, like, at a JUCO D2, D3. If I really, like, set my mind to it, I probably could have. And I did. I did work hard, but not hard enough, you know, because in high school I didn't really, like, I played JV sophomore and junior year. I got cut freshman year, but that motivated me to make it. And then senior year, I was on varsity, but I was playing a little bit the first couple games, and then coach started playing freshman over me, and I'm a senior at this time. And it was like this the whole last 3 years, so I was just tired of it at that point. I was like, dude, I've been busting my ass here for 4 years, like, and you're starting to play freshman over me, like, I'm good. So I quit at that point. I was like, I'm not going pro, you know, like, my dreams were kind of just
bigger than me.
Yeah,
I get it.
And they were good too. I can't deny the freshmen were good, but I mean, at the time, I'm thinking, like, I'm better than these dudes, you know what I'm saying? But
what the hell's going on, right?
Yeah, but you know how it is. Excuse me, sorry.
Right. That's why I got that water there, son.
Yeah. I like trying to quit like vaping and stuff, so I'm like,
you one of them vapors?
Yeah, it's just bad addiction.
Well, sometimes I pulled up on a car the other day. Looked like Puff the Magic Dragon in that some bitch. I said, "Holy shit, what's going on?" And then he was, I was like, "Oh shit, he's smoking." You ever seen it? Like,
no, yeah. I stopped for like 5-6 days last week, and then I caved yesterday. But like I was doing good, so it was starting to kind of get out of my system. So now I'm like feeling it like get out of my system again. And it's like I don't know.
have you had any negative effects from vaping?
Oh yeah, like just when I go hoop, when I'm playing these men's leagues, like last week, I didn't vape for, 3 or 4 days before I hooped. Man, I was out there balling. I was running past everyone, getting to the lane. Like, I had so much more confidence. I was scoring. I was like, whoa. But, like, before that, my chest starts hurting or, like, I get heartburn every day, so I got to eat the little Tums.
Oh,
So, like, yeah, there's definitely a lot of things you notice, you know what I'm saying, outside of even, like, money and stuff like that, but just – health-wise, like when I'm not vaping, I go hoop, I can go. Or just even go to the gym. Like I'm on the treadmill just walking and not even like getting tired. But when I'm vaping, I'm like, I need to go sit down, like it's crazy. Like when you actually pay attention to it, you're like, whoa, there's a huge difference.
that's how it is when I used to smoke cigarettes.
Yeah.
Used to come home just tired,
Yeah.
groggy,
Right.
sleepy.
It's like it gives you that instant buzz. So it's like good in that quick little moment to keep you like up or whatever. But then after that, you just feel like
Go to shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how did you get in? So then, what made you? We talked a little bit about this off camera, but so what made you start Mile High Minute?
So, all right, I just want to ask for your advice real quick on that,
Okay,
and
sure.
then I want to get in Mohammed. So how did you? So you quit smoking cigarettes?
Uh-huh.
How did you quit, or like what kind of tips or?
Started getting my ass kicked. I was like, I gotta stop smoking.
Yeah. So you probably seen a lot of differences, huh?
Yeah. Oh, it's a ton. And so most energy, like you said, when you hit the court, you start running. I was less groggy, less smelly.
Right.
My breath. You get that nasty taste in your mouth. It's my health. It's hunger, appetite, taste the food's better.
Right.
So, I'm the type of guy that's always gonna say don't smoke.
Right.
But to each their own. You know what I mean?
How did you like get over that hump with like?
I was just getting my ass kicked, so it was a different experience for me. So I would go to the gym, and I just get handled, and I would be doing good for like 1 minute.
Yeah.
And I could beat everybody for 1 minute.
Yeah.
But they're 5-minute rounds.
Yeah. So you just got tired of it then.
I just got tired of getting my ass kicked.
Yeah.
And then when I would go to smoke, I would think about that. I would go be like, fuck that. I'm not gonna, like I would think, man, I'm gonna get tired.
Yeah.
And as I took it, because this is when amateur, as I took it more seriously and started, thinking I wanted to pursue something more, then I started,
that's good.
Realizing that I didn't want to smoke cigarettes no more. It's because it was that stuff can consume your life.
Oh yeah, you don't even realize it. How much time you say like waste on it too? Just
just smoking.
Yeah,
I gotta go outside and smoke a cigarette.
Yeah,
gotta smoke a cigarette.
I gotta go to the store real quick. Let me go buy a pack.
I go get a smoke cigarette. And then always handing them out.
Yeah,
just done with that shit. Like I said, teach their own. I'm not against anybody who smoke. Don't come.
It's better than meth.
Yeah,
but
it's better than meth.
But like,
better than meth.
It's definitely not.
But don't start blowing up my comments, all you smokers, saying, "Oh, you teach, don't you smoke all you want." I'm just saying.
Yeah, we're not judging you.
We're not judging you. We're just saying we ain't smoking. We ain't smoking.
Right.
So.
But yeah, sorry. I just had to ask because I wanted to hear like your opinion, and that's dope that you.
Mine was easy.
Too.
Go join an MMA gym. Start getting your ass kicked a little bit.
Yeah. I get my ass kicked on the course sometimes. I'm like, damn, like I need to.
It's the same,
Yeah, I need to. Well, I'm sure MMA is way more physical, but
it is. But I mean, still
basketball's
you're
a lot of
losing because
running.
you're tired.
Right. Yeah.
And you're like, I shouldn't be tired.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
What the hell's going on here?
Facts. But yeah, Mile High Minute. So it was like a couple years after high school. I was at Front Range, and just like wanted to. I seen a demand for it. Like I seen all this talent, seen all these artists, and I was like, bro, there's got to be a demand for this because there's like dope artists, there's dope videographers, producers, like studios. There's so much. Why isn't there no bloggers as far as like hip hop specifically in Colorado? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So and what was that quote? Well, like not necessarily a quote, but like if you can solve a problem or find a solution to something, then that's a business idea right there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So my solution to Colorado's hip hop scene being slept on or not being recognized was Mile High Minute. And that's how it started. And it all just starts with an idea. You know, I'm just going to interview artists, and then it just snowballs into what it is today.
What was that like, though? So were they like, who the hell is this guy? Were you like going up on people like, hey, let me interview you? Yeah. How was that? What is going on?
It's funny you say that, too, because I was telling my girl last night, because like I was out at the show, Ray Reed, Lost Lake, packed out local artists. I was like, this is dope. Everyone's coming up to me showing love, and I'm like, this is crazy, because I remember when I first started, like, people looked at me like I was crazy, like, who is this dude? You know what I'm saying? Like, what am I doing? So, yeah, when I first started, like, for example, AP was one of the artists, he didn't even respond. He's like, who's Mile High Minute? You know what I'm saying? Like, it was like that. Like, it just, you know, people were hating. Yeah, I would just DM people, you know, I would try and give out free like vintage clothes because I was still kind of transitioning away from the vintage stuff. So, hey, bro, like let me give you like some free jerseys or something. You come on the show. Like I was just trying to find a way to provide value since I didn't really have much money. And we were just starting out. So it's like, you know, who wants to be the first guest? Like
I understand completely.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. So, yeah, that's how it went. And like. But it started to kind of grow quick as far as like recognition because it was kind of unique to the city at the time. Like no one was interviewing rappers in Colorado. So it was like
your first interview?
Young Fiji, the Boulder artist I was telling you about. It's actually still up there. Dropped it in March of 2018. It's audio only though, because we lost the video footage.
Oh no.
Yeah, but like that was the first interview.
Yeah, were you nervous?
Honestly, for that one, no, just because, like, Fiji's a very funny, like, easygoing dude.
He made you relax.
Yeah, so it was, like, it was chill. And I was with the homie, too, like, the homies at the time, so it was all chill. But, like, once we started, like, stepping up our game as far as, like, guests we were interviewing and different settings and stuff like that, if there was a bunch of people there, like, I'd start getting nervous for sure. Like, for sure.
Now do people reach out to you?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, as far as, like, coming on the show and stuff.
Just, like, they want to, find the show or just want to be part of, like.
Yeah, so, like, my thing is just, like, it's just got to make sense at the end of the day. Like, there's people that hit me up for promotion and stuff like that. For the longest time, I was doing it for free because I loved it, and I still do. But, you know, that's what you got to do when you're starting a business. You got to just do it for free. You got to. You know, everyone knows it, right? But then over time, when you start building that demand, you know, you like, oh, I'll post you for like $5. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they're like, sure. I'm like, oh, okay, you know. And then like,
you paid it?
yeah. And then like, you know, it starts like that, and then it just keeps building up to a point where it's like an actual business, and you know what I'm saying? You start actually generating money off it. But when people DM me now, it's just, you know, if it's a dope video or like a dope move, and I feel like it's gonna go viral, sure, I'll post it. You know, no money involved. But if they're trying to promote their brand, you know, sometimes you got to pay to play, and you got to invest in yourself. But if it's like even if they're paying for it, I still want to make sure you get some followers or like value out of it, you know? Like, so I'm like, what kind of catchy caption can I come up with that's going to like grab the people's attention with this, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, but it's a balance of just, you know, organic what's going on in the city, and okay, I need to get paid too because this is my full time thing. I got a son, so
Of course.
it's like just that balance.
Gotta make money.
Right, right,
Can't just do this shit for free.
No, and not forever, No.
So when you hear music, so like if I hear California rap, eyes closed, don't know where the artist's from, the minute I hear it, I know it's West Coast rap.
Right.
If I hear Southern or East Coast rap, same thing.
Same, yeah.
What about Colorado? Where does it fall?
Like our sound?
Yeah.
A lot of people say our sound is kind of a mix of like the West Coast and the Midwest because of where we're located on the map. But that's part of the solution that Mo Hyman is trying to push out there, because we don't really have like a distinct sound. Like we have like a gumbo pot of so many sounds and talents, and like I don't know if we really have much of an accent either. Like there's some things like the way we say Denver, it's kind of like a
little different.
Yeah, but that's what there's no like specific sound or anything. I think there is, but like it's not mainstream or big enough yet to where it's like, boom, that's the Colorado sound. You know what I'm saying? It's a work in progress. I'll say that.
So you put AP on your Mount Rushmore. I guess you would say he's the best rapper from around here.
In my opinion, now if I was being unbiased, I think Trev Rich. He's Grammy nominated. You got signed to Birdman at one point. He probably has more accolades than AP. Like he, when the Nuggets had the playoffs, they had him Trev on the big screen, like kind of hyping up the crowd. So he probably has more accolades, and he also is a songwriter. So he's wrote for like G-Eazy, like a lot of big artists.
Oh, he's making money like that too.
Yeah. But then you got Lil Nate, Lil Travieso down in the Springs, rest in peace, like with the Latino rap going crazy. You know what I'm saying? Millions of views on YouTube, FBP and them, crazy on YouTube.
Is there a big Latino rap around here?
Oh, yeah. Latino rap in Colorado's huge, and I feel like they get a lot of, I don't want to say blackball, but just slept on, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they deserve more flowers than I feel like they get. But there's so many rappers out here, you know what I'm saying? But as far as, like, my personal taste, I like AP. I think he's number one. Yeah.
So I seen there was a bunch of events, too. Do you go to all these events, or do you just
yeah, so I try to go to as many as I can, but it's so hard. You know what I'm saying? I went last night just because Ray's my boy, Ray Reed, and he threw my logo on the flyer. So I was like, I'm going to show face and say what's up. But, like, there's too many events now to go to everyone. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many. And it's also, like, I learned that from Sean Cotton, who's a bigger blogger. And he does kind of the same thing I do, but he's in Texas. He's Say Cheese. It's a pretty big blog. He said that if you're at every single show for free, then why would someone pay to see you? And that kind of stuck with me. Like, if I go to a lot of shows, but, like, I can't go to everyone, so I try to just choose wisely, because there's a certain amount of showing face that's good, but there's also a certain amount of, like, mystique and, like, demand that you build when you're not so too available. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like there's a balance to that.
Yeah, you got to balance your accessibility.
Right. And not only that, but I need to edit a bunch of video. You know, I got to be a dad. I'm got my son. You know, I got to be home. I'm not a huge partier as much as I used to. So, like, you know, everyone's got their own stuff going on. He just turned 1 in December. So
what was that like?
Actually, I think he's like 13 months now.
What was it like being a dad? Was that weird?
Oh, it was weird, but I love it. It was like very one of the probably like biggest things I want to check out my bucket list, just being a good father, you know. And I'm just so excited to watch him keep growing. He's growing so quick already. Like, he's already talking, and they gravitate onto stuff so quick, you know. Like, he's already like saying shit. I'm like, I gotta stop saying shit. I'm like, I gotta stop. You know, they just copy you, and like you gotta. But I like it because it makes me more self-aware. Like, all right, let me be smart about what I got on the TV right now. Like today, I was watching some rapper interview, but my son's right there. I'm like, let me change this to basketball. I'm not trying to have him, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Can't have him hear this shit.
right. Well, some rapper interviews are cool because they're professional, but then you got some that are just, profane and whatnot. So I was like, let me put something else on.
That's like my kids. Sometimes they want to listen to can we come down and listen to the podcast? I'm like, I don't know who's coming in today.
Right,
It depends on who's in today, because some people definitely not. They're going to be like, well, when I was 10, I murdered 10 people.
Right, yeah. Like,
yeah.
So, yeah, it's definitely...
it's life-changing, though, being a father, though.
Oh, yeah.
You got somebody more important to you than you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I know he's going to be way better than me. It's dope. That's a dope feeling. I love it.
And you can't... It's like when you're single, before you have kids, before you have people, and you fall off, it's not that big. I fell off. I just got to go sleep in my car, sleep on the couch, whatever.
Right.
You can't fall off when you have kids.
No.
You want to have your kids sleeping in the car?
Nope.
I mean, what are you doing? You can't fall off. You got to stay on top of it.
That's some real shit. But when I was single, I was doing that. I was sleeping in the car, sleeping on the homie's couch, you know what I'm saying, when I was first starting Mile High Minute.
When you're single, it's easy.
Right.
It's easy. You don't got... I can sleep outside on the damn street. Ain't nobody.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, It's easy. I mean, it's not nice. It's not...
Right.
I'm not saying it's fun.
Right.
I'm not saying you want to do it, but it's a lot tougher for when you have a family.
Oh, yeah.
It's way tough.
You gotta stay on your toes and make sure you're doing shit the right way.
Hell yeah. When I was growing up, I used to be in a lot of tough situations, you know what I mean? But since I had my family with me, it helped me to get through a lot of it.
Yeah.
But if some people abandon their kids because it's so tough, I'm so glad.
It blows my mind.
Yeah, I'm so glad my parents said that shit to me.
I got a homie. I ain't gonna give out names now, but his BM basically did that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, it blows my mind. I'm like, bro, it's crazy. I feel bad for him. Like, I love my girl. She's a great mother. You know what I'm saying? Like, she definitely holds it down. So, but yeah, I don't understand that. What would make a human? Like, I understand, like, maybe, there's a toxic relationship and, like, you're trying to see your kids, but, like, that's a whole different topic. Like, but, like, when you have the option to and you're just like,
fuck my kid.
Yeah, like, that don't make sense. I don't understand that. If you got work, cool, go get your work done, whatever. But, like, if you're just a bum, just like, fuck my kids. Like, that don't make sense. Yeah, it's weird.
You made it. You're okay.
Right.
And it's especially when they look like you.
Oh yeah.
Like, you just let your little meanie me like that. I don't.
And they're so like loving too, especially when they're young. Like, it's like
they just love you for you.
Yeah. He's like always just wants to be held, and I'm like, all right. It's like annoying, but it's like you love it so much because they're so like cute, and I don't know.
I miss my kids being that small, but I don't miss my kids being that small. I don't miss changing Pampers.
Right,
I don't miss coming into the room and crayon all over the walls. And
2 a.m.
I don't miss none of that shit.
Yeah.
But then sometimes when I watch videos, I'm like,
oh, yeah.
Oh, baby.
Yeah. I'm sure there's pros and cons, I'm sure.
So what are your plans for the...
As far as like Mile High Minute or just in general?
What are your plans? Yeah.
So, first and foremost, be a great father. That's the main thing. But just keep growing Mile High Minute. I want to expand the brand to, like, there's so many different avenues. I want to have more of a podcast style with it at some point. I would like to, get more merch going. I'd like to get into real estate. I was into real estate a little bit, but I want to, like, actually own real estate and, like, potentially rentals at some point. I finished my bachelor's degree. I want to finish that up at Metro.
Is Mile High Minute your full-time gig?
Pretty much. I still sell clothes and stuff on the side, but, pretty much Mile High Minute's, like, full-time. So I just want to keep growing the brand and innovate, figure out new ways to grow the business stuff. I'm just having a hard time trying to figure out how to, like, build a team and, like, stuff like that.
That's the toughest part.
Oh yeah, that's tough.
Building a team's tough, man. It's hard to find people who are gonna actually care about mile high minute the way you do.
Oh yeah.
Or it's hard to find people who see the vision. So when you blow up and you got millions of dollars and all that stuff, it's easy to find people who see the vision because it's there.
Right.
But when you're in the beginning and you're trying to start something and there's no money coming in,
right,
it's hard for people to see past what's in front of them.
Right.
So it's really hard to build a team. I've done it several times, several businesses, and
facts.
It's really hard. That's how I met Egan here. It's just you gotta be careful because nobody's gonna take care of your baby like you.
Right.
And some people are just gonna use your business for their personal needs.
Right.
And they're not the bigger whole of the business is not in their mind. What it's in their mind is what's good for them.
Right.
See what I mean?
Right.
So when you build a team, you just got to be very careful about who you put in your circle,
Mm.
especially a smaller, like that would be a smaller. I don't imagine you having 200 employees or something. You know what I mean?
Right.
So something smaller like that, you definitely want, because then one person could sabotage your whole
and
your whole thing.
When I first started, I would kind of have issues with it. No one's getting paid at that point, so like it kind of fizzled out quick.
Yeah.
But like recently, I had a homie who we're still cool, we still work together, but like I have a problem with like kind of micromanagement in a way, but because I'm like he's helping me post, but it's like negative news or like I'm like, hey, you could post a little better this way, and I'm like trying to find that balance of like, let me just appreciate that he's doing this, and he's getting paid too. Like we're splitting money, but in my head, I'm like, let me just appreciate that he's doing this, but at the same time, like,
you want your image for Mile High Minute to be a certain way,
right, and it's tough because it's like when someone's posting like straight negative news all day. I mean, every once in a while it's cool, but I don't want that to be like the main
source
with Mile High Minute. Yeah, like, and then like. There's a certain way that I want it to look. It's just tough, you know what I'm saying?
You have your vision.
Right.
Not everybody's going to have it.
Right. And it's your baby, so it's like...
It's your baby,
yeah, not everyone's going to care as much as you, so...
I've learned that. I'm going through some shit right now because of that.
Yeah.
Like, you got to really be particular. My advice to you would be to... grow your brand into, you got a good 6-figure income.
That's what I was thinking.
And then once you got that 6-figure income, then I would bring in.
Start worrying about that more.
About help and stuff, because then you could grow the image.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Because like right now I make enough to pay the bills and like basically live on my own expense, but like not enough to where I can afford to actually like pay out employees and do all the extra stuff yet. So. That's what I was thinking too.
Buy cars and houses.
Right.
And that's what you want.
Right.
Materialistic things. That fuck that. Give me all that material.
yeah. Well, it's like, you gotta. I remember when I was little, all I wanted was a bunch of J's and Jordans, and I couldn't get none of them. And then when I started making a little money, that's all I was buying was Jordans.
How many pairs of Jordans do you think I have?
Just like a guess. Well, judging off the ones you got, I'm gonna say you got at least like 20 or 30.
How many pairs do I got, Egan? I think I got like 120.
Oh, jeez. I was way off. I had a crazy collection that I still kind of do, but I'll be selling a lot of them.
I wear my J's.
Yeah, that's good.
Now, I got like 50 pairs that I haven't wore.
Yeah.
And I want to, but like every time I go to wear
them.
They're
so nice.
They're so nice. And I'm like, man, these motherfuckers worth $500.
Right,
I give like $100 for them.
Right.
I wear them. They're going to go back down to 100.
Right.
I just put them back.
Facts.
Yeah.
So. I had a pair of 85s.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, I think I wore them one time for like a photo shoot, and then I never wore them again. I ended up selling them eventually, but I was like, I kind of regret it now. I'm like, I should have held on
about those.
I should have held on to them.
Yeah, those are big money right there.
Yeah, no. I traded a homie for some Yeezys. It wasn't a homie. It was like when I was doing the vintage stuff. He had some, or I had some Yeezys like brand new, but they were kind of like a basic colorway Adidas ones. Mm-hmm. And he said he didn't want the 85s. He was a little younger. I was like, "Are you sure?" Like, He's like, yeah, I don't want them. I'm like, bro, I'll take them. They were beat, but I'm like, bro, these are 85s. Like,
matter.
yeah,
It's still worth money,
right? And they were just so crazy to see. I've never seen them before that. So.
I've been looking for a pair, and I found a couple, but they were
thousands,
so overpriced.
Yeah,
but I've been looking for a pair of original pumps.
Oh, like the Reeboks,
the originals.
Oh, that's dope. Like the Shaq ones.
I guess it would be early '90s. From the early '90s, I found a pair. They were like 12,000.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, I guess I ain't getting these.
Yeah, shoes are crazy. I love shoes, but
so if you had some, what is your? I always ask people this when we start winding down the interview. I always ask people this. If you have a message that you want to share with the world, if you say, here's my life. I grew up hustle bustle house.
Right.
I lived in Fort Collins. I was good in school. I was a class clown. All this stuff. I had a kid. He helped change my life. I'm building a blogging thing.
Right.
After all that, what is your message that you've learned through all of that for the world? Say it right there. Let me see.
Yeah. My message would be just do what you love. I feel like when you enjoy what you're doing or you love what you're doing, like that'll get you past the moments of feeling like you should quit or, feeling like just down and out or feeling like, oh, I'm not getting enough money. Like I remember like not making nothing off this business for the longest time, sleeping in my car, just broke, but I loved it so much that that brought me through like the tough moments to be where I'm at today, and I'm able to actually like live off of my business. You know what I'm saying? So that's what my main message would be: just to do what you love, because like everything else will come as long as you genuinely love it, and don't worry about especially see, I'm in the rap industry, so there's this huge emphasis on like who's the top rappers. Well, I'm part of it. I throw the list out and get people talking about it. There's a point, but my point with that is like, don't worry about the popularity shit and the who's the best rapper, this, that, and third. Like, that stuff comes with it. But like, if you just do what you love, like everything will come. You know what I'm saying? Like everything that's meant for you and manifestation is real. Like there's so many interviews that I manifested and made happen. Like it's not as hard as people starting a business or like chasing your dreams isn't as hard as people I think try to make it seem. You know what I'm saying? Like you just got to put in the work and love what you do.
That's a good message. Goes back to belief.
Right.
You got to. I was talking to him about this. When you start something, when you have an idea, when you have a thought, whether it's a business, a way of life, a culture, whatever it is, you have to believe in it. You got to believe it. You can't. If for example, when I was becoming a fighter, I believed it.
Yeah.
Like every day I believed that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
or when I started my businesses, I was living in the projects and shit.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna live here forever. I believe it. I see my house again. I'll sit in my house and I'll visualize it.
Right.
No shit. I sit in the bathroom and I sit on the toilet.
Right.
And in the morning I'll just be thinking that like I'm gonna have a house built and I'm gonna be sitting in things and it's gonna be like this. And I believed it.
Right.
If you don't believe it, you could tell yourself, oh, I'm going to sell T-shirts and I'm going to make money. But if you don't believe that you have the best T-shirts in the world and that those T-shirts are going to, when people put them on, their confidence is going to sky through the roof.
Right.
If you don't believe it, then it's not going to happen.
Facts.
Because if you don't believe it, you're just going to make excuses. Like, I've talked to so many people, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that, blah, blah, blah. It almost gets annoying. I'm like, bro, just either do it or don't. Like, there's no, like, you don't need to make excuses. Like, if you genuinely want to do something, just do it. Like, at least.
If you don't believe it, how are you going to sell it to other people that you believe it? You know what I mean?
Facts.
You're not going to be able to do that.
Right.
You're not going to be able to. If you don't believe that your shoes are the best shoes on the market, then you're not going to convince nobody else that they're the best shoes on the market.
Right.
You got to believe in yourself. Confidence. So one thing that was probably my clutch in fighting is I didn't fight to my potential because my confidence wasn't there.
Mm.
You know, and I didn't learn that till later on, which helped me in life. That, you know, it helped me learning that. But at the beginning, you know, I would go into the cage and I didn't have that confidence. Like my coach would say, "You're good, you're better than that," but I would fight below my level because I didn't have the belief.
Right.
I didn't believe in myself, you know?
Mm.
So that's just something that I learned that, you know, through that, you know, like, man, fuck this.
Yeah.
I'm better than this. I can
Right.
do this. When the lights are on you, whether, you know, cage fight or whether you're on the gram or blogging or rapping or on the stage, when the lights are on you and the pressure's on you, you got to believe in yourself to perform. And that's just the way it is.
No, that's facts. That's some good gems right there. That's some good game.
Take that shit to the bank. So.
Right, it's true. Because there's so many times, like, even on the basketball court, like, I know I was way better than I would play, but I would get so, like, nervous or just caught up in my own thoughts. I'd be too scared to shoot when I got a wide open shot. Like, you know, and even today with the Mile High Minute, like, I feel like there's a healthy balance of being humble but confident. Like, and sometimes I feel like I'm too humble where I kind of let people walk over me a little bit, but then I notice when I'm too confident or cocky, I'm like, I'm probably pissing people off, right?
You gotta find the balance.
Yeah.
Yeah, so. You can't let people walk over you, but you can't be a dickhead.
Right.
You know, you gotta be stern but fair.
Right.
For me, myself, honesty. Honestly, it's hard to be honest. It's hard to be honest, man. Right. Sometimes you have to tell people some shit they don't want to hear.
Right.
Sometimes you got to hear some shit you don't want to hear.
Right.
You know, but it's so much easier and people will respect you so much more. I've had times where I've had people who work for me, maybe they have someone underneath them that they're having problems with. And I'll just have to sit down with both of them and be like, both of y'all are full of shit. You know, one of you are saying, let's get everything out in the open right here, right now.
Right.
And they turn out that everything's okay.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But it's just talking behind people's backs.
Right.
Like, yo, what's up, B? You're awesome. And then you leave, man, B fucking sucks. You know?
Yeah. Right.
Like all that negative stuff like that.
And you got to catch yourself too. Like, I feel like you get better at that as you get older.
Yeah. So I never, I would never say something about someone who behind their back that I wouldn't say to their face.
That's real.
And I would never. I don't lie to people.
Yeah.
Whether it could be tough, it might be a really hard conversation to take.
Right.
I was just talking about this earlier. So my coach, my old coach, he's gonna come in on the podcast here. Yeah. Maybe next month. But something he used to always tell me, man. So do you know the difference between when it storms over the horizon? If there's a herd of cows, what do? They run. They'll run from the storm. Well, bison, buffalo, they run into the storm.
Really? That's interesting.
Because they know that if they get past the storm, it's over. So they'll run for 5 minutes into the storm while cows are running for 30 minutes. Away from the storm.
Dang, that's crazy. I never thought about it like that.
So my coach would tell me, in life, be the buffalo. Be the buffalo. When you have shit hit you and life's hard, whatever, your mortgage is due, you don't got the money for it, your baby mama being a bitch, right? Whatever it is that's life. Face it. Yeah. Don't run from it. That's right. Don't avoid it. Be a buffalo and run headfirst into that shit, because once it's done, it's done. No matter how bad it is, I don't care what it is. No matter how bad it is. It's like
quitting smoking.
Yep. Just like quitting smoking.
That's crazy.
You want to quit smoking? It's gonna suck. Right. But if you're just avoiding it, you're 10 years from now, you're still gonna be quitting.
Right. Yeah.
You know. But if you just say fuck it and you run straight into the storm, and you go through your withdrawals, and you go through, all the stuff that's bad about it, then it's over.
Right.
But you can't run with it. You live life like the bison.
I like that. I'm gonna remember that forever now. I'm glad you left me with that. That's cool.
It was nice talking to you, bro. Thank you for coming on my show.
No problem. Thank you. It was nice talking to you, meeting you as well. I appreciate the platform. Shout out the Tell Me Your Story podcast. Make sure y'all tune in before it's too late. Hit the
Any,
like
any
button.
other plugs or shout outs or events you want to? You're a blogger. I mean,
Yeah. Shout out Mile High Minute. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all that. Links everywhere. Just search Mile High Minute. Make sure y'all hit the like button on this video. Comment down below what guests you want them to have next. Hit that subscribe button for them. Yeah, I think that's just about it. Make sure you just follow us on everything. We're basically just, pushing the Denver hip hop scene, but the point is really to bridge that gap between Colorado, Denver, and other markets and help take it to that next level.
Well, we can get some of those guys in here now.
Yeah, that'll be dope.
Likely, so.
I'll definitely recommend some dope ones to you.
All right, guys, that was another episode. I hope you appreciate it. Just make sure you're on the lookout. Give Denver a look on your YouTube and your Spotify. There's a lot of dope artists out here. Check them out, man.
Yeah.
There's a whole industry out here. There's a whole variety of music for you to listen to and open up. A big Latino rap scene. So if you like the Latino rap, check us out. Put us up on YouTube. Check us out on Google. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're trying to get monetized. So the more you subscribe, helps me out a lot. And check me out next time. We out.